Today I'm going to show you how I stay cool in hot weather. I'm taking a small tub and I'm filling it full of cool water from a hose. This water is cool, but it's not cold. I'm going to fill up the tub and then I'm going to put my feet and my hands into the tub to cool off. But I'm going to try and make the water a little bit colder than it would normally be using ice. What I've done is I've taken a plastic container or some kind of a container and I've filled it with water and then put it in the freezer for a while, for a couple of days, and then I take the ice out. See, it's a big chunk of ice. You could put a couple of these into the tub if you wanted to. I'm just putting one in and then I'm moving the chunk of ice around a little bit so it cools the water. Now the water is much colder. Now I'm going to put my feet into the water. And the general idea is that it kind of acts like a radiator. Your blood goes through your feet and then it gets cooled in the water. So your whole body will get cooled after a while, because the blood is circulating through your body and then it's going to your feet where it's being cooled. It's very simple to do this and it works well. It's just like walking in a cold stream. It's the same effect. You're transferring the heat from your body into the water. You can also use your wrists because there's a lot of blood vessels in your wrists and they're close to the surface, so that it's easy to lose heat this way, and also from your hands. So hands and feet are a good way to lose heat. You put them in cold water and you'll get cool pretty quick. This is a really simple technique, and if they get too cold, you just take them out again. It just takes a couple of minutes to cool off like this, and you don't need an air conditioner. You just kind of use your fridge or your freezer to keep you cool. So you're sort of using stored up coldness from your freezer and making the water cold. It's just like a cold drink. I also like to wear sandals in the summer, and I like sandals with some sort of toe protection. Sandals are nice because then your feet can breathe well. You'll notice a lot of people in hot countries, they tend to wear sandals, and there's a reason for this. It's because your feet stay nice and cool. There's many different types of sandals. What I also use in hot weather is I use these boots. These are kind of like slip-ons, and they're cut lower so that you don't get fungus on your legs when you're working in the heat. I also like to put insoles into my boots because they make them more comfortable, and I like to wear socks usually because then I don't get blisters, but you can wear the boots without socks as well. These boots work from -20 Celsius to +40 Celsius. I also like to use a wide-brimmed hat. You need some kind of a wide-brimmed hat. It doesn't really matter what type, and the hat keeps the sun off of your face and off of your neck. The next technique is the wet t-shirt technique. I use this technique when it's really hot. I like to use a darker t-shirt when I'm doing this because it doesn't get see-through when it's wet. So I take the t-shirt, which is a cotton t-shirt, and I soak it in water. Then I wring out the water, or if I don't want to, I just leave the water in the t-shirt and it kind of drips off. And the idea behind using a wet t-shirt is that you get cool through evaporative cooling. As the water evaporates from the t-shirt, it cools you. It's kind of like sweat, and if there's a wind, then it cools you even more. Then the evaporation works even better. When I'm outside in the heat, I like a thin cotton t-shirt, and it should be a light colored t-shirt because light colors reflect the sun, and a color like black tends to absorb heat. I also like to wear a thin cotton dress shirt with a collar, and you can fold the collar up to protect your neck from the sun, and the long arms protect your arms from getting sunburned. Basically, you're covering up and the clothes act like sunscreen. Then the sun can't get at your skin and give you a burn. Now I'm going to make a neck cooler, and I'm going to use 2 cotton socks. These should be socks that are used for exercise, and they should be as much cotton as possible. And I'm going to knot them using a reef knot. The knot is going to go on the back of my neck, and I'm going to wet these socks in water, so they're going to be soaking wet like that. And then I'm going to wrap them around the front of my neck like this, just with a twist. And the idea is that you have as much of the wet sock exposed to your neck as possible, and as the blood goes flowing through through the veins in your neck, the wet sock evaporates. The evaporative cooling will cool you kind of like when you sweat. The sock should fit loosely around your neck. Wind makes evaporation work even better. You can also use a golf shirt. I like golf shirts because they have a collar which you can fold up or down, and the collar protects your neck from the sun. So you can wear a hat which protects your face, and then the collar of the golf shirt protects your neck from the sun. But it needs to be a wide-brimmed hat. The basic idea is to wear thin, loose-fitting clothing which protects your skin from the sun if you're going to be out in the sun for a really long period of time. The clothing basically acts like sunscreen. Cotton is a really good material, and so is linen. Linen is also really good for this type of weather. The basic strategy is to cover up in the sun if you're going to be out for a really long period of time, and the point of this is to stop you from getting a sunburn. And clothing can be very effective in protecting from the sun. What I'm doing now is I'm using some water, a little bit of water, and I'm spraying my feet and my hands with the water. And again, this will cool me off. As the blood flows through my hands and through my feet, the cool water will cool my whole body, because the blood circulates through your whole body. So when your hands get cooled off, your whole body will get cooled off too. This seems to work for me. You can do this during a break when you're working, and it doesn't take very much water, and after a couple of minutes of spraying some water on your feet, you'll feel cooler. You can also spray some water on your hair, and then as the water evaporates from the wet hair, it will also cool you very quickly. I think there's a lot of blood vessels in your head too, so this will help you to cool quickly. The basic strategy is to use water to cool down. I'm going to use this strategy in a different setting. I'm just going to fill a little children's pool full of water. These pools are quite inexpensive. This is cool water from a hose, and I'm just going to stand in the pool like this, and then after a couple of minutes I will be cool. I will feel much cooler, and I won't feel as hot. It's very simple to do this, and again, you're just using the water to cool you down. Another technique is to use a fan. I like a fan which can move a lot of air, a high-powered fan. You can always set it to low if you want to, but if you need a strong fan, you can set it to high. The fan helps you cool through evaporative cooling. As your sweat evaporates, you'll feel cooler. The wind from the fan helps your sweat evaporate even quicker. And then if you're drinking lots of water, you'll feel cool too. Remember that electricity and water don't mix, So if you're wet, stay far away from the fan and don't touch the fan or get near the power cord or anything electrical. Thanks for watching and have a great day.